Hi, and welcome to Fiction Technician. I'm Jane Kalmus. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to stick the landing. Endings. What makes them great, and what kind of foundation do we need to lay throughout our storyline so that they really resonate with our readers. We're going to begin with Aristotle, who said that a great ending should be surprising yet inevitable. Surprising and inevitable? Do those things go together? Yes, and let me show you exactly what it should look like when your reader finishes your book. Of course. All right, that's the satisfying moment. That's the thing that really sticks with us about a story, makes us love the ending, and recommend the book to all of our friends. Let's look at a couple of famous endings from literature.
Then I saw someone carrying Jim.
Well, who was it?
Oh, there he is, Mr. Tate. He can tell you his name. Hey, Boo.
Cinder. You won.
What do you mean, we won? I beat him. He runs the simulations. He said it was a game.
It was them or us, Ender. There was no other way.
With this victory, you've won all future battles. You destroyed them.
Okay, why are these endings surprising? Because we've been given information that disqualifies them as a potential ending. Boo can't have saved Scout. Boo never leaves his house, and Ender can't have won the war. He's been working on battle simulations this whole time, not actual battles. It's fair to say that we've been lied to, but importantly, never by the viewpoint character. In the case of Ender, he was lied to, and he's accurately relayed the information that he has to us. And in the case of Scout, well, she's a 6-year-old girl, and she tries to be honest with us about what's going on, but her perceptions can't always be trusted. Okay, that's the surprise. Where's the inevitable? That happens about half a second later as your mind races back over the events of the story and you pick up all those little clues that the writer has left behind you. Of course Boo saved Scout. He has been devoted to the Finch children for years. And of course Ender's battles were real. The incredible pressure that he's been put under by his teachers just doesn't make sense for a student. Okay, let's look at another couple of endings.
Red! You go. Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
What is to be done with this traitor, Your Grace?
My mother wishes me to let Lord Eddard join the Night's Watch. Stripped of all titles and powers, he would serve the realm in permanent exile. And my lady Sansa has begged mercy for her father. But they have the soft hearts of women. So long as I am your king, treason shall never go unpunished.
In these cases, it's not so much a matter of disqualifying information we've been given. Rather, it's about the expectations that we brought into the story. In a romance, we expect the primary couple to wind up together, and so when Rhett leaves Scarlet sobbing on the stairs, it's a shocker. In an epic fantasy, we expect the honorable man to triumph in the end, and so when Stark loses his head, it really threw us for a loop. These are the expectations that the writers of Game of Thrones were referring to when they said that they like to subvert expectations. But it never would have worked if they hadn't shown us over and over again the brutality of Westeros, which created a second, competing set of expectations that made Stark's execution inevitable. So we need an ending to be surprising, by which we mean contrary to something we believe. Either information that you have given us, sneakily, while allowing your viewpoint character to be honest, or an expectation that we brought into the story about the way fiction works, the way this genre works, the way people behave. And we also need the ending to be inevitable, by which we mean supported by a robust network of memorable clues. Okay, what makes a clue memorable? Well, in all of the examples I've cited, you'll note that the clues are primarily emotional in nature. We can't forget about the emotional infidelity and occasional violence of Scarlett and Rhett's marriage. This has informed our entire understanding of the characters, and it's given us the emotional experience that we had while reading this book. Similarly, we can't forget about how Ender's teachers left him dangerously isolated, or about the incredible violence that pervades Westeros. Okay, I can't talk about endings and Game of Thrones without talking about this. This was certainly surprising, but the way you probably felt after this episode aired is the way it feels when you whiff on inevitable. I think afterwards we all kind of tried to collect those clues and put it all together, and we said, well, she was getting more violent and paranoid, and they do have this thing about how the Targaryens sometimes go mad. But here's the thing. And then she went crazy is almost never going to feel inevitable unless mental or emotional issues have been part of the story for a long while. We're not looking for a genetic clue to explain Daenerys' behavior. We're looking for an emotional clue, something that makes sense with what we know of her character. And actually, the emotional clues have all led us in the opposite direction. I mean, sure, she did immolate some people, but she's always been pretty specific about who. We've never seen her harm a child. We've never seen her harm an innocent, at least not in the show. She's never had difficulty distinguishing between the oppressors and the oppressed, and compassion for the oppressed has always been a core value for her. So the burning of King's Landing was not a difference of degree. It was a wholesale difference in character. And it left the audience saying, I guess I can see it, but not really believing it. So when you want to lead us astray, do it with informational clues. And when you want to contribute emotional content to your story, things about theme, character motivation, make sure that stuff leads us where you want us to actually end up. All right, I want to show you one more ending that was delightfully surprising and satisfying, but almost missed on inevitable.
I see people. They don't know they're dead.
How often do you see them?
All the time. They're everywhere.
That one was awesome, right? We've been given one major emotional clue to Bruce Willis being a ghost, and that's the distance that's developed between him and his wife. But that's not really enough to give us that inevitable feeling, so M. Night Shyamalan added the sequence. We see a reprise of a number of the informational clues that we've been given along the way. Like this stolen check, this jammed door. These clues weren't emotional, so they were easily missed and easily forgotten. So if your inevitable depends more on informational clues than on emotional ones, you may need to have a moment during or right before the climax where your character thinks back on all of the clues that he's missed or misinterpreted along the way. And just like The Sixth Sense, it will organically remind your readers of all those clues so that they can experience that wonderful, of course. All right, I'm doing a new thing where there's an exercise at the end of every video, but before that, I want to take a moment to thank you for watching and ask you to please hit the like button if you feel that this video gave you value. Consider subscribing and hit the bell icon if you want notifications. All right, here's your exercise. Think back on an ending that you loved and that was surprising and inevitable, and see if you can identify the false information or expectations that made that ending really blindside you, the network of clues that made that ending inevitable, and how the writer made those clues memorable or reminded you of them at just the right time. Thanks for watching. Tech out.